Good morning, children. This is lecture 2 of chapter Chemical Kinetics. This lecture is fully based on order of reaction. The previous lecture was the revision of standard 11 and the starting of standard 12. In that lecture, the previous lecture, we have done rate of a reaction, factors that affect the rate of a reaction, law of mass action, rate law, rate constant. This rate law and rate constant we have already discussed in lecture 1 and a little bit of order of reaction. Here in this lecture we will do elaborate study of order of reaction. Let us start this lecture with rate law and rate constant. Rate law. What is rate law? This is an experimentally observed dependence of reaction rate on molar concentration of the reactant. So we are getting a mathematical expression, and that is known as rate law or rate equation. So rate law is a mathematical expression that is describing experimentally observed dependence of the reaction rate on the molar concentration of the reactant. That means it is an experimental value. Let us consider a general reaction. AA plus BB is giving you product. That means A and B, this A and B are the stoichiometry of in the reaction. It's a stoichiometry. Now, the rate of a reaction may not be fully proportional with the stoichiometry. That you have understood. I have told you all these things in the previous lecture. So, let us consider that rate of a reaction is proportional to the pth power of A and qth power of B. This is experimental value. So, the rate law for this equation can be written as rate is equals to Ka to the power P and B to the power Q. Okay. Now, the power P and Q, this P and Q, may or may not be same as the stoichiometry. It may be same with the stoichiometry. It may not be same with the stoichiometry. Okay. Experimentally, we may not find out that the rate of a reaction may not be proportional with the stoichiometric value. It may have some other value, that is the pth power and the qth power of A and B. So these have to be determined experimentally, as I told you. What is rate constant? The constant K in equation 1, this one, is the rate constant. Or it is known as specific rate constant. This rate constant, when you will go to the following slides, you will find that the rate constant is specific for a specific order of reaction. It is very specific. So this is known as rate constant or specific rate constant. Differences between reaction rate and specific reaction rate. The rate constant of a reaction is equal to the rate of a reaction when the concentration of each of the reactants is unity. This you have seen in lecture 1. The main points of difference between reaction rate and specific reaction rate are as follows. Number 1, for reaction rate, it is the rate of change of concentration of reactant or a product with respect to time. And what about specific reaction rate? It is a constant of proportionality and it is equal to the rate of a reaction when the molar concentration of each of the reactant is unity. Number 2, the reaction rate at a particular instant depends upon the concentration of reactants at that instant. What about specific reaction rate? The specific reaction rate remain constant for a particular reaction at a particular temperature and does not depend upon the concentration of reactants. Number 3, its units are fixed and are mole minus 1, second minus 1. Mole, liter minus 1, second minus 1. And the unit for specific reaction rate, it depends upon the order of reaction. For a reaction of order n may be 0, 1, 2, 3, whatever it may be, the units of specific reaction rate are mole 1 minus n, liter n minus 1, and second minus 1. Come to order of reaction. The part to which concentration term of a particular reactant in the rate law, that means experimentally, is raised is called the order of reaction with respect to that reactant. And the sum of all the powers to which all the concentration term in the rate law are raised to express the observed rate of a reaction is called the overall order of reaction. This all I explained in the last lecture. Let us consider the following reaction. AA plus BB plus CC is giving you product. The stoichiometry is a, small b and small c. As I told you that experimentally the rate of a reaction may not be proportional to the stoichiometric coefficient of a balance equation. It is an experimental value. Okay, so maybe the observed rate law for this particular reaction may be in this way. Rate is equals to K. K is the rate constant. A to the power P, that means it is depending on the pth power of A, qth power of B and rth power of C. So A to the power P, B to the power Q and R to the power C. In this rate law, P, Q, R represent the order of reaction with respect to A. That means A is the pth order, B is of qth order, and C is of rth order. So the overall order of reaction for this particular reaction is P plus Q plus R. The overall order of reaction is P plus Q plus R. Now, if suppose P plus Q plus R is coming to 1, suppose it is coming to 1, the order of reaction is said to be first order. If P plus Q plus R is coming to 2, the order of reaction is said to be 2. So, it is the second order reaction. And so on. Overall order of reaction is usually a whole number, but it can also be 0, fractional or even negative. Practically this can happen. Okay. Now see here what is written here important. Please note that order of reaction is purely an experimental quantity and cannot be known just by the stoichiometry of the balance equation. We cannot say that the order is A plus B plus C for this particular reaction. Okay, these are the stoichiometry. Experimentally, it may not be proportional to that. It has to be obtained experimentally by determining the rate law. Am I clear? different types of order of reaction. We can have zero order reaction, first order reaction, second order reaction, third order reaction, fractional order of reaction, even negative order of reaction. But in your portion, you are having only zero order reaction and first order reaction. So we will do only zero and first order reaction. Zero order reaction. What is zero order reaction? Zero order reaction is a chemical reaction wherein the rate does not vary with the increase or decrease in the concentration of the reactant. Suppose a reaction A is giving you product. A is giving you product. When it will said to be zero order? If in the rate law we are getting the rate is equals to K A to the power 0, and A to the power 0 is nothing but 1, so rate is equals to K. Okay, therefore the rate of this reaction is always equal to the rate constant of the specific reaction. Since the rate of this reaction is proportional to the 0th power of reactant's concentration. That means it is not depending upon the concentration of the reactant, whether you are decreasing or increasing. It is the 0th power of the reactant's concentration. Then it is known as zero order reaction. In a zero order reaction, where A is giving you product, the rate is given by minus dA by dt. This is the rate of a reaction, you know all. Minus dA by dt is equals to K A to the power 0, as I told you. And it is equals to K. So I can write here dA is equals to minus K dt. From here I can write this. dA is equals to minus K dt. Now integrating both the side. Integrating dA from A0 to A and time t is equals to 0 to t is equals to t. Okay, so if I am integrating this and a k dt, so I am getting A minus A0 is equals to minus k t minus 0. So from here I am getting A is equals to minus kt plus A0. No problem. Plot a graph, concentration versus time. You will get slope is equals to k. Slope of the graph will give you k. The example of zero order reaction, photochemical combination of H2 and Cl2 over the surface of water. It is giving you 2HCl. Experiment rate law is giving for this particular reaction, rate is proportional to K, H2, concentration of H2 to the power 0 as well as concentration of Cl2 to the power 0, which is equals to K. So overall order of reaction is 0. Am I clear? In this case, the rate of reaction is experimentally found to be independent of the concentration of both hydrogen and chlorine. Hence, it is a zero order reaction. These all experimentally proved, experimentally seen. Okay. Next is decomposition of NH3 at the surface of the metal like gold or platinum catalyst. Now, NH3 is giving you N2 plus 3H2. The rate law is showing, it's giving you the expression rate is equals to K ammonia, concentration of ammonia to the power 0. That means it is not depending upon the concentration of ammonia. This is experimentally found. So the order of reaction is 0. Okay. Now unit of rate constant for 0 order reaction, it's particular. So K is very specific for 0 order reaction. It is not depending upon the concentration of the reactant. It is rate is equals to K is equals to specific rate constant is equals to rate a to the power 0. So K is equals to rate, that is rate is equals to concentration time inverse. So this concentration time inverse is the unit of K when it is a 0 order reaction. I think it is clear to you. When we will call a reaction is first order reaction. A reaction of the type, suppose A is giving you product, is said to be first order if its rate law is given by rate is equals to Ka to the power 1, or it can be written as K concentration of A. Some of the example of first order reaction: decomposition of ethyl chloride. C2H5Cl is giving you C2H4 plus HCl. It is experimentally shown that rate is equals to K C2H5Cl to the power 1, which is not written here. So the order of reaction is 1. Decomposition of ammonium nitrite. NH4NO2 is giving you N2 and H2O, 2H2O. The experimental rate law, it is given rate is equals to K NH4NO2. So it is also an example of first order reaction. See the other examples: nitrogen pentoxide, it is rate is K N2O5, order of reaction is 1. H2O2, the rate is K H2O2, order of reaction is 1. SO2Cl2, the order of reaction is K SO2Cl2, order of reaction is 1. Units of rate constant for first order reaction. Now how we will get? Because we are getting that rate is equals to, we are getting rate is equals to K concentration of A. From here K is equals to rate by concentration of A. So the unit of rate is concentration time inverse divided by concentration. This is a concentration. So concentration get cancelled. It is time inverse. So we are getting time inverse. Let us consider the following first order reaction where A is giving you a product. It's a differential rate equation. For a first order reaction, minus dA by dt, this is the rate of a reaction, we know minus dA by dt is equal to K into concentration of A. That already we have seen. For a first order reaction, the rate of a reaction is depending upon K into concentration of A. Now the equation 1 may also be written as minus dA by A, this A will come here, is equals to K dt. Now on integrating this equation, we are getting minus dA by A that is integration is equal to k integration dt. So we are getting minus log EA is equal to kt plus I, where I is the integration constant. This is my equation 1, this is my equation 2. Now let us see what is happening. At time t is equal to 0, say A is equals to A0. This one. And at time t is equals to t, A is equals to A. Suppose. Now put this value in equation 2. What was equation 2? In the last slide we have got that. Let me write it here. Minus log E A is equals to kt plus I. Now when, as I told you, when t is equals to 0, the value of concentration A is equals to A0. So just put it here, minus log EA0 is equals to k into 0 plus I. So I is equals to minus log EA0. Just put it here. I am getting this. I is equals to minus log EA0. Now, in this equation, you put the value of I. So what I am getting? I am getting this one. This is my equation 2. That is minus log EA is equals to kt plus I. Now put the value of I here. Okay. So after solving this, I am getting this one. How we are getting this one? See, minus log EA. This is plus log A0 is equals to kt. Okay. Now log A by log E, of course, A0 is equals to, the minus sign will come here, minus kt, and that is why A is here. Okay, so I'm getting this. Now integrated rate equation, what I'm getting? A by A0 is equals to E minus kt. This is the integrated rate equation for a first order reaction. Equation 3 is the integrated rate equation for a first order reaction in exponential form. Now what is equation 3 that we have got in the last slide? Just let me write it here. That is A by A0 is equals to E to the power kt. Okay. And now one more equation that we got in the last slide, that is log E A by A0 is equals to kt. Okay, minus kt. So from there we can get, these are also, this equation can be written for finding out the value of k. It can be like this. See from here, see from this equation, k is equals to minus 1 by t log E A by A0. It should be in this, A by A0. Okay. Next, k can be written as, just change the minus sign, 1 by t log E A0 by A. This also can be written. or K can be written as 2.303 by T log 10 A naught by A. So actually what happened, children, these all the expression for finding out the K for a first order reaction. Now this is the expression we are getting. We can find out the K value from this equation. Suppose in an experiment, we are starting the experiment with the initial concentration as A0. We know the initial concentration. Now, at different point of time, we can get the value of the concentration of A. You know the time, at what time you are seeing the concentration of A. Now, just put those value, concentration of A and the time, in any one of these equation. At a particular time, you are getting a value of K. Similarly, for a different time, you take the value of A, and with that time and the value of A, you will get another value of K. Like that, you can find out the value of K for the different time. You'll get the different concentration, so naturally the K value will be different. So for each and every time, the value of K should be constant because it is a specific rate constant for a particular reaction, that is a first order reaction. This is the expression that we are getting for the first order reaction, the value of K. Okay, so if we are putting the value of A with the particular time, and each and every time if you are getting the value of K constant, that means that reaction is a first order reaction, because for a first order reaction the K is specific, it is having a specific rate constant. Am I clear to you? In the previous slide we have seen that there are 3 different expressions for finding out the value of K for a first order reaction. So let me take one equation, that is K is equals to 2.303 by T log 10 A0 by A. This equation we got for finding out the value of K for a first order reaction. This also can be written in another form. How? Suppose the initial concentration of A, which we have taken in A0, is A moles per liter minus 1. A moles liter inverse. And if X moles of A have been consumed by time T, then the concentration of A, that means this one, the concentration of A at time T is A minus X mole liter minus 1. So this first order reaction can also be written in this way. K is equals to 2.303 by T log 10. In place of A, it will be, in place of A naught, it will be A, and divided by, in place of A, it will be A minus X. Am I clear, children? Graphical representation of first order reaction. The first order reaction can also be represented through graph. Now the rate law for first order reaction is given by rate is equals to K concentration of A. Okay, this is the equation from where we have started our first order reaction, that the mathematical expression we have started from here only. Now rate is the dA by dt. Okay, if we'll plot a graph against rate of a reaction versus concentration of the reactant, just see here, rate of a reaction versus concentration of the reactant, so it will give the value of K. Okay, so it will give you a straight line. Now the slope of the straight line will give you the value of K. Now see that slope BC is giving you the rate of a reaction, and AC is giving you the value of concentration of reactant. That means from here, K is equals to rate by A. So the same thing we are getting here. This is known as reaction rate versus concentration plot. Exponential decay plot. This is showing you how the concentration of A is keep on decreasing with the increase in time. Because it is depending upon the concentration of A. So as the time will increase, the concentration of A will decrease. Okay, have you seen? So this is known as exponential decay plot. And this is another graph, that is logarithmic plot, where we are plotting the graph log 10 A versus time. We are getting a negative slope, and the slope of the graph will give you minus K by 2.303. Okay, now with this, the first order reaction is, I cannot say complete here because after that half-life is there. So this is the concept of first order reaction. Half-life of a first order reaction. What is a half-life? Half-life means to complete half of a reaction. Time taken to complete half of the reaction. That is known as half-life of a reaction. It is usually denoted by T half. Now, this is our first order reaction expression. This is my first order reaction. Okay, now this can be written as, I want to write T, the value of T. T is equals to 2.303 by K log 10 A naught by A. Now, when it is half completed, so A is equals to half A naught and T is equals to T half. So now this equation can be written as this equation. T half is equals to 2.303 by K log 10 A naught, and in place of A, it will be half A naught. Okay, now this can be written as T half is equal to 2.303 by K log 10 2, because this A naught will get cancelled and 2 will go up. So 2.303 by K, and the value of 10 log 10 2 is 0.3010, which is coming to 0.693 by K. This is your T half for a first order reaction. T half for a first order reaction. Okay. Characteristics of first order reaction. The rate of first order reaction is directly proportional to the concentration of the reactant. Rate is proportional to A. When the concentration is double, rate also get doubled. The rate constant of a first order reaction has the unit that already I shown you. It is time inverse. It can be second inverse, minute inverse, hour inverse, whatever it may be. A first order reaction obeys the following equation, as I told you. This, and this. These are the characteristics of first order reaction. A plot of log 10A against T is a straight line for a first order reaction, and the slope is given by minus K by 2.303. Already I shown it to you. The half-life of the first order reaction is dependent on the initial concentration. It depends only upon the rate constant of the reaction and is given by T half is equals to 0.693 by K. These are all the characteristics of first order reaction. A first order reaction, if it is a first order reaction, it will follow all these things. Okay, it will satisfy it with all these things. In fact, the time taken for completion of any fraction of a first order reaction is independent of initial concentration. See, it is independent of initial concentration. Am I clear? Experimental determination of rate law, rate constant, and order of reaction. Graphical method I am showing you. This method may be used when the reaction involves only one type of reactant. That means A is giving you product. If the reaction is like that, A is giving you product, A is giving you product, then you know that rate is given by K A to the power N. If it is 0, it is 0 order. If it is 1, this is first order. If N is equals to 2, this is second order. If N is equals to 3, this is third order, like that. Now for first order reaction, the rate is Ka. For second order, Ka square. Third order, Ka cube. So plot of rate with A. Rate. I'm plotting rate with A square, A cube. And that will tell you the order. Okay, how it is, I'm just showing. See here, the graphs are shown for different orders. That is, we are plotting the graph rate against the concentration. Now, as you know that zero order reaction is independent of A, that the concentration A. So, I'm getting a straight line. Which is parallel to x-axis. That means it is not depending on the concentration of A. So, if you are getting a straight line parallel to the x-axis, that means it is a zero order reaction. Now for first order reaction, that also I shown you that if the rate of a reaction and the concentration of A, if you are plotting a graph and you are getting a straight line, that means it is a first order reaction. Actually what is happening, children, because of the experiment, if you are doing an experiment, you are getting different value of A. Now you plot a graph with the rate of the reaction and the value of A. This one, the first order reaction. Now if you are getting a straight line, that means if it is coming a straight line after plotting a graph with the rate of a reaction and the concentration of A, then it is giving you, if you are getting a straight line, that means this reaction is a first order reaction. Suppose you are not getting a straight line with the graph you are plotting, that is rate and the value of A. Now just take the square of A and then you plot a graph with the square of A and rate. Suppose now you are getting a straight line. So you can say that it is a second order reaction. Suppose it is not coming in this also, you are not getting a straight line. Then you just make the cube of A and you plot a graph A cube against rate. And now you are getting a straight line. That means it is a third order reaction. So by plotting the graph, you can say what is the order of that particular reaction. Now, if it is not following in this, then it may be a fractional one. Some other methods are there. Okay. Experimental determination of rate law, rate constant and order of reaction by initial rate method. Now children, this is not there in your portion. Just I am telling you just to increase your knowledge a little bit. See, when the concentration involves more than one reactant, I told you about the reaction when the concentration of one reactant we have taken. A is giving you product. Now I am coming to that, how to calculate the order of a reaction when more than one reactant is taking part. In that case, initial rate method may be applied for finding out the order of reaction. What we are doing, initial rate of reaction may be obtained by calculating tangent of the concentration time graph. Concentration time graph. Now we are taking the initial position when t is equals to 0. We are just making a tangent on that, and that tangent, when we are making a tangent, the slope of the tangent when t is equals to 0, that is Ca by Cb, is giving you your initial rate. Okay, now the concentration time curve at the beginning of the reaction at t is equals to 0. So at the beginning of the reaction, we are just drawing a tangent, and that the slope of the tangent we are taking, that is Ca by Cb, is giving you your initial rate. Now let us see what is happening. Starting with different initial concentration. First, suppose the concentration of A0 we have taken 1 mole per liter. That time we have taken the initial concentration of A. Now B, suppose I am having two reactants. A plus B is giving you product. A plus B is giving you product. Okay, now keeping B constant. All the time I'll take B as constant, the same value of B. But A, every time changing the value of A. I'm starting first, suppose I'm starting A with 1 mole per liter. Second, I'm starting with 2 mole per liter. Then 3 mole per liter. Like that, I'm changing the concentration of A. Okay, so starting with different initial concentration, one reactant is varied as function of time. Okay, that means I'm starting with a particular initial concentration and the reactant is varied as a function of time, keeping concentration of all other reactant constant. So initial rate at every initial concentration is calculated as described above from the concentration time curve. Okay, the order of reaction with respect to that reactant may be obtained from calculated initial rate. For a particular, that means now I'm getting the order with respect to A. Now the same thing we will do by keeping A constant and varying the initial concentration of B. Order of reaction with respect to the other reactants may be obtained by repeating the procedure mentioned above. Like the same thing we will do. Order of each reactant we will get now. In this way we will get the order of the B also. Now we will add these two and you will get the overall order of reaction. This is known as initial rate method. Experimental determination of rate law, rate constant and order of reaction, integrated rate law method. Consider a reaction A is giving you product. Now the differential rate law is rate Ka to the power n. This is constant. Okay. On integrating equation 1, this equation, we are getting for first order, if n is equals to 1, the reaction, the integrated rate law is A naught E minus KT. K is equals to 2.303 by T log 10 A naught by A. This also we can write. And K is equals to 2.303 by T log 10 A by A minus X. That is the third one. This all we have seen. For other orders, there will be other integrated rate law. So as I told you, these are the integrated rate law for the first order reaction. So if you will have to do any calculation, you can take these equations and you can find the value of K from this equation. This is the following procedure is adopted to find out the order of reaction from this method. Actually, this I explained to you. Again, just see that what is written here. The progress of reaction is monitored by determining the concentration of the reactants and the products as function of time. Already I told you. Next, experimental concentration data, whatever you will get, the experimental concentration data at different time interval. As I told you that you will get the different concentration data at different time interval. Then you substitute in the integrated rate law those data, substitute in the integrated rate law, that means the formulas that you are having, to find out the value of K. And if the value of K comes out to be same at different concentrations, then the order of the reaction is same as that of the value of N for the corresponding integrated rate law. That means we are talking about the first order. That is why I have given you the value of K only for the expression that the K expression is given, that is for the first order reaction. For second order reaction, if we will derive the second order reaction, we will get the different expression for the value. To find out the value of K, there will be different expression for second order reaction. Similarly, for third order reaction, the different expression we will get. So we are having in a portion, we are having only first order reaction. So I have given you the expression for finding out the value of K. Those expression is for first order. So you will get the value of A in concentration, that means a different interval of time. As I told you, just put it in the formula. If you are getting the value of K same for all the values of A that you are getting, that means your experiment is in first order reaction. Is it okay, children? Now to find out the rate law, rate constant and order of reaction by half-life method. What is half-life? That I already told you, it is the time taken to complete half of the reaction. Now starting with the general differential rate law, that is Kr is equals to Ka to the power n. The half-life T half of a reaction is related to the initial concentration that we have seen. T half is proportional to 1 by A naught n minus 1, where A naught is the initial concentration that already I told you of the reactant, and n is the order of reaction. Okay. Now the order of reaction may be found out from the half-lives of the reaction at two different initial concentrations. Suppose we are taking two different initial concentration, A naught and A naught prime. Now I have to find out the half-life of a reaction with this initial concentration, and we have to find out the half-life of a reaction with this A naught prime as the initial concentration. So what we are getting, T half is proportional to 1 by A naught n minus 1. This is one expression. And T half prime, that is proportional to 1 by A naught prime n minus 1. I am getting two different equations for half-life, that is T half and T prime half. Now what we will do, we will divide this. We will find out the ratio of these two equations. Now by dividing this two, equation 1 by equation 2, we are getting T half by T prime half is equals to A naught prime by A naught n minus 1. Now from here, log 10 T half by T prime half is equals to n minus 1 log 10 A naught prime by A naught. Okay, from there if I'll calculate, I'm getting this value, n is equals to the value of n I'm finding out. So that means the order of reaction I'm getting. This is this expression we will get. Now by knowing all these values, T half prime, A naught and A naught prime, the order of reaction, the n value may be obtained. And for finding out the order of reaction through half-life method, this is the expression. Am I clear to you? Now, along with this, today's lecture is completed, and in the next lecture, we will be solving some numericals.